What up, 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 what up? What up? You're now tuned into the 50-50 Felipe Show, and I'm your host, Felipe. You already know what time it is. We're going to start this episode off real peaceful and quiet, respectfully. So before I go on any further, I just want to give a moment of silence to the 7-month-old baby that lost her life yesterday in Brooklyn, New York. So before we do anything, let's just give a moment of silence to that infant. Good looking. That's what's up. What up, though? Yeah. Let's go. Right? So my outfit right now today is just because I got allergies. And I'm outside and it was raining. So I'm like, it's like a COVID mask for me because I got allergies. I don't want to breathe and the pollen and all that. So that's why I got a mask on today. And my rain suit is because it was raining all morning. And I've been in and out handling bills, and it's the first of the month, bills, and just handling life, doing life shit, how it go. But all I ask for you to do is like, subscribe, share, comment, post, reshare, subscribe, so when I drop, you get your notification bell, bing. You feel me? But I ain't even popping off on your favorite hater today because it's different. It's real different. This episode is real different. So we just going to slide right into it like wet pussy. An infant was shot in Brooklyn yesterday while in the stroller being pushed by her mother, accompanied by her father. So let me read my notes, and we're going to get right into it. A 7-month-old baby was shot, innocent bystander, in a stroller Wednesday around 1 p.m. and was pronounced at 1:46 yesterday, Wednesday. So we have an innocent child that has been taken away from us due to gun violence. It's the same old song. It's nobody seen nothing. It's just sad, man. You just can't find words for something that happens like that. When something like that happens, it's like, what the fuck do you say, right? What do you say? What do you say? Like, but you have to say something. You have to say something. You have to do something. You have to do a lot. A lot has to be done. A lot has to be done. You cannot be quiet. You cannot be quiet. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, man. So now you got two suspects. Right? You got two suspects riding on a moped. Two suspects was riding on a moped in Brooklyn, New York City. They was the guy on the back of the moped was spotted with a handgun, firing into a crowded street corner by a deli. The typical neighborhood scene. We've all seen it before. A lot of us probably was a part of it. But it's the typical neighborhood scene where you have the girls out there, the guys out there, the babies, the infants, the 3-year-old. So it's a convenience store right there. Traffic. Typical setting. Projects around, houses around. Neighbors, houses around, innocent cars, people, typical setting. And then you have these two suspects driving on a moped. up the one-way street with a gun in their hand, firing at that crowd over there, full with people, innocent children, and infants. People convenience stores, people property, people vehicles, people buildings. All of that is stuff you can't get back in return. A life you can't, that infant life can't get brung back. But you have to put leverage on everything that's being done. You have to implicate everything that's being done so that way they get the most worst punishment. That's what you have to do. You can't just make it just always the high. No, you you have to implicate everything that they destroying, that they tearing up, because you just don't want to focus on the worst. You want to focus on the small, the medium, the large, the extra large, and then the worst. So that way it's more severe for punishment. And then you got those people who, okay, granted, the life that's taken is very important. But what about the people that's this property that they tearing up too? You got to get these kind of people off the streets. You got to get these kind of niggas off the streets riding a moped up and down a block, up down a one-way street with a gun in his hand, scaring people in broad daylight like a New Jack City movie. You know the scene where Nino went for revenge and sent them out there to strike on the Italians outside playing chess and smoking cigars, and they ain't give a fuck who was out there. They ain't give a fuck who they killed. That's what these guys, these two stupid motherfuckers did. Jumped on the back of a moped like they in Cuba or some shit. Jump on the back of a fucking moped, and he's riding down the street shooting like a scene out of a New Jack City movie. Now, granted, I don't know what happened, but what I do know is an infant was killed behind their nonsense. An infant was killed behind their nonsense. Now, if you just take a minute, or take a second to think about that picture right there, just these fools riding down the one-way street shooting a gun off of a moped into a crowded scene, people running and screaming, ducking and dodging, hiding. A mother don't know what the fuck is going on. She runs for cover. She feels safe inside that goddamn corner store that she ran in there with her baby inside the stroller, and her father, the baby father, alongside of them. So she felt like her family was okay until she seen blood coming from out of that stroller, and she realized her daughter was shot. Is you niggas crazy or what? She must have felt like she dodged the gunfight, or whatever she felt at that moment was going on. She felt as though her and her family was safe until she looked down and seen blood from that fucking baby stroller from her 7-month-old child. Do you know how that has to feel? Wow. Wow. But driving against traffic, though. Fucking morons. So, all right. You're going to commit whatever you is with that weapon, whether you think it's going to be a murder, whether you think it's going to be a homicide, whether you think it's going to be just a shooting, whether you think you're just going to go over there and scare people, whatever you think you're going to do, to drive up a one-way street to get there to commit that kind of action is bold. Because already you drawing attention. Already you drawing attention. Zooming down the street, up a one-way, on the back of a bicycle, with a gun in your hand. Now, you deserve to have been in this situation if you got enemies, if you've done something. Maybe that person that they was looking for does something. Maybe he was supposed to be deserved to something for him, for something to happen to him. That was their mission. I get it. Because I don't know what happened. They could have been retaliating on someone that killed their peoples. And I get it. Not saying that is right or wrong. But look at what happened in between. A 7-month-old child was murdered, innocent, because of criminal thinking, criminal activity, guns, gun violence, poor thinking, poor judgment. Fucked up. These kind of people is on the streets. Like, it's just gonna take them 10 minutes to just throw their whole fucking life away. These kind of people on the streets. These are the kind of people we walking around. These are the kind of people that you won't even think of be doing no shit like that till it hit the fan. This is what we up against out here. A motherfucker will take a life from you in 10 minutes, then throw theirs all away. And look at the attitude behind it. Driving up a one-way street, shooting a gun. Shooting into a crowd. You see the strollers. You see the strollers. You see the motherfucking strollers out there. But like I said, here's where it get trickier. Because how do I know they're not retaliating on whoever they were shooting at for killing one of their family members or one of their friends or one of their loved ones or one of their brothers or sisters? Okay, that's fair game, right? But here's the Rubik's Cube to it all. Why go along with the fucking shooting from a distance if you see kids there and you're on a bike? If I see kids there and I ain't painting no picture and giving nobody no way to do no killing, but I am going to think, I am going to display that I got some type of sense. But if I see an enemy and that's who I want, and I see that type of scene, and I'm on a motorcycle or on a car, on a moped or a pedal bike, it's only but one way I know you're going to come. I would just watch you until it's more safer. I don't wait till you get away from no people. Because why? Maybe you like me and feel as though you know what you did, you know how this shit goes, and I wouldn't expect you to be doing nothing other than fighting back until one of us is out of here. I wouldn't expect nothing but that. But when there's kids involved and stuff like that, I don't. They ain't gangsters. Them ain't gangsters. Them ain't my kind of niggas. Them ain't my kind of friends. Them ain't. Not saying they wouldn't have got caught if they did it a better way. There's no better way. But the fact of the matter is, the child was like a red light at a stop sign. I mean, at a corner. The child automatically was like a red light. It should have been no more movements after that child. Them children were seen in them strollers and them kids were out there. Some should have clicked in your mind to make you not pursue this situation. But they didn't care. That corner was packed with multiple people. Like I said, there's a bodega over there. 2 more strollers on top of the one he shot into. It's a total of 3, maybe 3 to 4 strollers out there with babies inside of them. And this nigga out there shooting a gun. And like I said, maybe this was his opportunity to get the person he'd been looking for. Because with that type of ambition, that you come running down the one way, making yourself look obvious, then you pull out the gun, making yourself look obvious, and then you see who you want, and then you just get the firing, and you don't see nobody else around them, not even a stroller. 3 strollers with 3 kids there. What the hell that person done to you? Or what was you getting paid? That's a hell of a motivation. That's some hell of a motivation to be so forceful, to be so not thinking. I can't even say young boys. Because young niggas ain't even they got more sense than that. Young niggas sneak out the window, go behind the door alarm, go around, they sneak up under the door ring camera, they crawl in the dirt. But there's no good way of doing it. But the young boys be having some kind of sense how they gonna creep up on you, trying to avoid cameras and shit like that. So I can't even say young boys. It's just motivation. Like, where does motivation come from? Where is it? Who has this kind of motivation? How much are you getting paid? What was the retaliation about? What was it about? Because out of all these red flags and signs and stuff, that the way that they moving to take a child's life, an innocent life, no, that was not the motive. I know that was not the motive. But it is the motive when you carry a gun. It is the motive when you carry a gun, because guns don't have no name. When you shooting into crowds, it is the motive. I'm going to tell you like Parole told me when I went to the parole board panel one time. I got caught with a gun mad years ago. I'm an ancient history gangster. I've been, anything y'all doing, I done did in the 1900s. So, and that's a phys act. So I went to parole one day, and she saw that I had a gun charge. So she said to me, oh, I see you had a gun in your house. I said, yes, I did. She was like, what was you gonna do with that gun? I was like, nothing. She was like, I'm gonna ask you again. What was you gonna do with that gun? I said, I just had it. I wasn't going. She was like, I'm telling you, that's not the answer. You better let me know. What was you going to do with that gun? I said, I don't know. I just had it. She said you was going to kill somebody. I said, I wasn't going to kill nobody. She said, yeah, you was going to kill somebody. I said, no, I was not. She said, yeah, you don't know what you was going to do when you shoot that gun. You specialize in guns, you practice, you know what you're doing? Or you just know how to shoot a gun. She said, what if somebody had a gun and kill your son with a gun, protecting his drugs? And I shed a tear in parole. She said, step out. I got my dumb ass up. I walked out. I came back in. She granted me parole. And she told me to think about it. Think about what I told you. Think about what I just explained to you. Don't that make sense to you? I said, hell yeah. I never thought of it like that. Yeah. That's what happens when you carry guns. That's what happens when you carry guns. You don't know what the fuck you really doing, what you really was, unless you really, even if you woken up on something. Even if you're walking up on that person, you just never know. You could walk up on somebody and shoot him in the head, and he could fight for his life, and you could end up dead. He could shoot you with that momentum from him being shot and really not just his life just going away like that. It happens. I know people that's been shot in their head and still alive, maybe in a wheelchair. I know 2 people that's been shot in the head and nothing's wrong with them. They may not have received full penetration for no bullets, but they've got shot in the head enough. That bullet wasn't enough. This ain't even about me. This is about them stupid niggas, man. You feel me? They got so much video and footage, also witnesses, that saw them leave out of the Bushwick projects, hop on a moped. They got video of them suspects running around Marcy Avenue after the committing the crime. So they got these fools. All they did was went for the crime scene, went to the next door, got that tape, went to that stop sign, got that tape, rewind that tape to rewind that tape. Rewind that tape to see what street he came off of. Rewind that footage to see what house he came out of. They rewinded so much footage, they got them stupid niggas peeking out the window probably before they even got on the bike. That's all they doing. They playing back tape. I thought you niggas was smart. They playing back tape. They putting it together. It's like, you know how you edit shit? It's like they rebuilding it back. The world got some type of big computer, and they gonna get you in real time. They gonna just go back. The help of door cameras. You got vehicles that's running while it's off, recording while it's off. You running by there, shoof. You let off a shot by one of them cars with that video creator. Boom! The car start recording right there. Then you get caught running past the car. You let off that gun. Boom! All the cameras start recording. So now you're getting caught running. They rewinded all the tapes back. Got y'all coming out. They got them coming out of the Bushwick projects. They got them jumping on the moped. And then after they fled, they got on, one of them ran on Marcy Avenue, I believe. This is crazy. They got so much footage. They got footage, they got video, they got witnesses. Just like the mother would not have thought her baby was shot when she ran into that store, and she felt comfortable to see that her baby was still in the stroller. Her baby father was still by her side. Like that Jadakiss single. Shout out to Jadakiss. She saw that her baby father was by her side, so she felt like her family was safe. And like I said, until she seen that blood in that stroller. Could you imagine that? These fools is crazy. So I'm not gonna not paint the picture as I did already with the mother. Finding that moment to think that it was okay. When she saw her family was still together. But I had to flip it on the suspect side too. They never thought they was going to shoot no kid. Yeah. It ain't like they ain't give a fuck. I don't believe that they just went out there with the attitude, I don't give a fuck. They may say it, but they ain't got, you don't have that attitude to do that to no kid. They just think they can shoot. They think they shooters. Do. That's what they think. So they never thought that. I'm sure they didn't thought that. At least not both of them. Maybe one of them. But I can pretty much guarantee you both of them didn't think that they was going to shoot or gave a fuck if they shot a kid. That's crazy. Then the motherfuckers leave for the crime scene, speeding off on the moped, like a scene out of the movie. They on this motherfucking moped after they just killed the infant. Hitting potholes. I already know. Potholes going around the corner and shit like that. Boo, boo, boo. They nervous. They fucking scared as hell. They just shot up some shit. They don't even know they killed the kid yet. They just shot up some shit. So now they taking off. Next thing you know, the stupid driver, he's driving on the goddamn scooter and a car coming. And as you know, he trying to beat the car. Him in the car racing like this. He gets right here. He tries to shoot past the car, and then the scooter got stuck. So you know what happened. Both of them went flipping over the goddamn scooter after they just killed a 7-month-old child. Gun flipped in the air. Both of his shoes came off. Nigga had scrubs on. Both his shits flew up in the air. Clothes all over the place. And the one on the back got it the most. Because you can imagine the one that's gripping, he like this, he don't see it. And if he do see the accident, he gripping. So that's why he didn't go too far. But the one on the back, he flipped over. He fucked up. He got hurt. He got injured. They saying it's gang related. So here we go. But that's a fact. I'm not making that up. He got hurt. It's sad, man. It's sad. A 7-month-old child. She had lost. She's just imagine, like, you know how I would love to go back to be that baby in that stroller just cruising down Brooklyn. Spring break. It's good outside. Easter on his way of trying to ask my mother to buy me some Lotto sneakers. You know how I would love to take it back to being a child hanging on the corner in Brooklyn? You know how I would love that? It's just not fair. It's unfair. So now, when they hit and flipped over on the bike, the gun go over there, the store manager picks up the gun, get the cops the gun. Hey, go that gun, sir. Here's the ratchet. Here's one of the slippers. Here's his other slipper. Here's his shirt. Come on. But y'all would be like, oh, he's shooting. He walked down. He do this. He do that. He don't even tie a sneaker before he go on the drill. That's what I'm saying. What was the motivation? If I'm busting out my house like that and I'm in the project, somebody come get him. Obviously, somebody told him that the dude was out there. Because he had to drive from the projects in Bushwick, which was maybe not even a couple blocks to the store. And with their ambition, driving up a one-way only tells me that they was called and informed that they was out there. Hurry up, them niggas out here right now. Come through blazing. Hot 97. We want everything. Get everything. We want everybody on the ground. We want bust some car windows out. Set up some car alarms. Get people running. Scare the people. Everybody running. Scare them. That's all I want to hear. And then just to go back and say, you heard that? I was lit out there. I shot that shit up. But a 7-month-old baby lost their life because they was faking it. That's probably what the fuck they was trying to do. Run through there and just shoot it up. I did that before. Just so I could run back and say, like, y'all heard that shit? Yeah, that was me. Get busy. Then everybody in the hood like, oh, he a shooter. He is busy. He ain't doing shit. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't doing nothing. But what they just did, murdered a 7-month-old infant. It wasn't even the child belonged to God. 7-month-old, that was an angel. With no mistakes. Fresh. That was powder. White. Untouchable. Pleasant. Pure.